Have you ever wondered what a real professional Google Ads campaign looks like from the inside? Not just the theory, but the actual plan. Well, we've gotten our hands on a real-world project plan for a furniture business, and today we're going to break it all down step by step. We're going to see how it's built right from the ground up.
So, here's the plan. First, we'll get to know the client and what they're trying to achieve. Then, we'll dig into the foundational work. After that, we'll build out their two main campaigns, piece by piece. And finally, the fun part, we'll look at the budget, the clicks, and the conversions to see how it all turned out. It's the whole shebang.
All right, first things first, before you write a single ad or spend a single rupee, you absolutely have to know who you're building this for. And what do they actually want?
Okay, so let's meet our client. We're calling them FXC. They're a wooden furniture manufacturer right in Bangalore. Think beds, sofas, tables, wardrobes, all that good stuff. Basically, a local business that's ready to grow.
So what does success actually look like for FXC? It's pretty straightforward, really. They want more phone calls, more people walking into their shop, and just generally to build up their brand name in Bangalore. Now, keep these three things in your head because literally every single decision we're about to look at is designed to hit these targets.
Okay, on to the foundation. This is the stuff that absolutely has to happen before you even think about writing an ad. Seriously, if you skip this part, you're basically just throwing money at a wall and hoping something sticks.
And step one, you could argue this is the most important step of all, is installing a conversion tracking code. Just think of it like the scoreboard for your campaign. It's this tiny snippet of code on the website that tells you when someone does something you actually care about, like calling the business. Without this, you're flying completely blind. You're just spending money with no idea if it's working. Okay, so to really get how this all fits together, I want you to think about building a house. At the very top, you have the campaign. That's the overall blueprint for the whole project. Then, inside that campaign, you have ad groups. These are like the individual rooms, the kitchen, the bedroom. And then, inside each room, you have the ads and keywords. That's the actual furniture, the stuff people see and interact with. This structure is so important for keeping everything organized and on target.
All right, the foundation is set. Time to start building the first wing of our campaign house. And this whole section is going to be dedicated to just beds and sofas.
So, inside this campaign, our first room, our first ad group is all about wooden beds. Now check this out, because this is where the magic happens. On the left, you see the keywords we're targeting. Simple enough, right? Someone searches for king-size wooden bed, we want to be there. But look at the right. This is just as crucial. These are the negative keywords. We're telling Google, hey, if someone searches for metal bed or free bed, do not show our ad. This little trick saves an absolute ton of money by weeding out all the clicks we don't want.
And here's what that looks like in practice. The person searches for a king-sized wooden bed, and boom, the headline of the ad says king-size wooden bed. It perfectly mirrors what they're looking for, and then it hits them with an irresistible offer. That combo of relevance and a great deal, that's powerful.
Then, right below the headline, the description comes in to seal the deal. It adds a bit more flavor, It talks about quality, Bangalore's finest, and it reminds them that the business is local. It gives them every reason they need to actually click on that ad.
Okay, on to the next room in our campaign, wooden sofas. And as you can see, it's the exact same playbook. We're targeting really specific things like teakwood sofa, and we're actively blocking searches for things like fabric sofa or anything with the word cheap. It's all about precision.
And check out this headline. It's a slightly different angle. Instead of a discount, this one leans into a key feature, handmade. This is smart because it's talking directly to a person who cares about quality and craftsmanship, not just the lowest price. All right, campaign number one is officially built. Now, let's build out the second wing of the house. This one is going to target a whole different set of products, dining tables and other furniture.
First up, in this second campaign, the dining table set ad group. And by now, you probably see the pattern, right? Get super specific with the keywords you want, like 6-seater dining table, and be just as ruthless about blocking the ones you don't, like camping table.
Now, this last ad group is a little more of a catch-all for other wooden furniture. But even though it's broader, the golden rule still applies. Use those negative keywords, like plastic and metal, to make sure you're not wasting a single cent on the wrong clicks.
Okay, the structure is built, the ads are running, but here's the million-dollar question. Is any of this actually working? Let's get into the final, and honestly, the most important part, the numbers. This is where we find out if we succeeded.
So the client, FXC, put up a total monthly budget of 2 lakh rupees, and the plan was to split that right down the middle, 1 lakh for campaign 1 and 1 lakh for campaign 2.
All right, pay close attention because this table tells the whole story. Both campaigns get the exact same daily budget, right? Now, at first glance, campaign 2 looks like the winner. It's getting way more clicks per day and more conversions, more leads. But look closer. Campaign 1 has a significantly higher conversion rate. That means when people do click those ads, they're more likely to actually become a customer. So, which one is really better? That's the big question, isn't it?
And when we say conversion, what do we even mean? Well, it's super simple. It's just one of those goals we talked about at the very beginning. For FXC, a conversion is when someone clicks an ad and then either calls them up or asks for directions to the shop. That's it. It's a click that turned into a real live lead.
So that brings us to the conversion rate. Think of this as your efficiency score. It's the percentage of clicks that actually turn into a conversion. So if 100 people click your ad and 4 of them call you, your conversion rate is 4%. A higher rate means your ads are doing a better job of attracting the right people, the ones who are serious about buying.
So here's the final verdict. When you look at the raw numbers, campaign 2 is bringing in more customer actions every single day. Even though the clicks from campaign 1 are technically more efficient, campaign 2 is the one making the phone ring more often. And for a business that just wants more chances to make a sale, that makes campaign 2 the winner here, even with a lower conversion rate.
So let's wrap this up. What are the big takeaways from this whole project? Number 1, structure is everything. That campaign, ad group, keyword setup is non-negotiable. 2, specific keywords bring you the right customers. 3, negative keywords are your secret weapon to stop wasting money. And finally, and most importantly, none of this means anything if you don't track your conversions to see what's actually driving business.
So there you have it, the entire blueprint, from the initial goal all the way to the final results. Now the final question is for you. You've just seen how this all works for a furniture company. How would you take this same structure, this same logic, and apply it to your business?